Remember that this issue is never talked about, right?
Yes.
So it's not like anyone would be saying, what do you believe about it? What do I believe about it? Like,
Exactly.
He signed this waiver not to take my, like,
Yeah.
that doesn't happen because no one's talking about it. And so it just sort of happened. So I think the reason why it happens is that we come from collectivist cultures, and where the family is more important. So sometimes parents aren't asked for permission before children are taking, even for non-harmful things like ice cream, or like parents aren't asked for permission for everything.
Exactly.
I think one of the reasons why sometimes this has happened in the Dawadi Bohra community around Khatna is that because it's considered to be a good thing and a good thing for a kid, if a parent is against it, the aunt or the grandmother might say, no, we'll just do it anyway. This is important, this needs to be done. Also, if a parent has become less religious or less orthodox in their practice, because they've maybe moved to the West or something else has caused that, perhaps a more observant or more orthodox person might see that they have lost their way or judge them for having lost their way. And so they'll do what they think is best for the child. Again, it's never done to harm in their minds, but it does harm. Yeah. So in the book, I have all these different characters who have slightly different experiences, both in terms of the after effects as well as how they remember. So I have some characters, one character who remembers every single detail. And then someone else who has kind of like a half memory, and someone else who doesn't remember. And I wanted to present those three different ways of remembering, because I think that it's very common when we're in a traumatic experience that, one of the self-protective strategies we have, particularly when we're children, is to forget. Because, in that trauma moment where you're completely overwhelmed, you can even have this moment of feeling like you could die. And so the body just goes bleep. Now, the other piece of it is that this is an experience where a lot of girls are told, nothing really happened, stop crying. And don't tell anyone, we don't talk about this. So there's also no way to be able to make sense of it and process it. So what do you do with that besides just let it go? I've learned, because all of my novels take up social justice issues of some kind or another, is that you really have to fold the difficult issues inside a really fun, interesting, page-turning story for people to keep reading. Otherwise, they'll stop at page 20. So that's something I've really learned about is how to create arcs, how to take someone into some pretty difficult stuff, but then lift them up again, because I don't think it's kind to leave people in the depths of misery for too long before you get a joke, before you get, families interacting in some really fun ways and so on. So, and also sex scenes. Like I really think that, that's one of those things that I really wanted to address was sex in this book. And that needed to be done in an interesting way and a way that was digestible as well.